All right, music fans, welcome back. And yes, that music is. What does it mean? It means we're doing another exciting episode of As the REO Turns. But you say, wait, we just had an episode of As the REO Turns yesterday. And in yesterday's episode, Kevin Cronin said he was deeply disturbed because he was left out of a show which featured all of the old REO type people. And he's basically devastated because they supposedly scheduled the concert on the same day where Kevin is already booked with the Kevin Cronin Band somewhere up in Oregon on the same date. Though Kevin can't be in two places at the same time. And thus, he says he's deeply disturbed and believes it could be intentional. Not sure if it's intentional or not, but guess who chimed in on this? The great Bruce Hall. By the way, this particular episode of As the REO Turns is brought to you by YouTube memberships, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and PJ Rock Super Chats. Now, over on Facebook, Bruce Hall decided to set the record straight. This was 3 hours ago. He said, here, we were all, including Kevin, invited to participate in this event in early January. Kevin states he's been falsely accused of turning down the invitation. Bruce Hall put the words falsely accused in quotes. I can use air quotes here. He says, I've seen nowhere it's been said he turned it down, and I know he's been asked to participate virtually. Oh, virtual Kevin Cronin. So he could be like kind of like the pandemic. They could kind of mail his stuff in via Zoom, which I think would be a disaster. But anyway, Bruce Hall says this, I truly hope he does, meaning that he participates virtually. Now, I would warn Bruce Hall in encouraging Kevin to do this virtually because I think he will get booed like no other rock performer has been booed in recent memory. Now, I could be wrong about this, but just, some of my predictions lately have come true. So what you do, by the way, if you want a prediction to come true, you look at all the evidence before you, you look at the behavior of the people involved, and then you start making predictions, and thus, this is why my track record at times has been pretty good. Of course, I have definitely been wrong a number of times, and people certainly let me know when I'm wrong. Bruce Hall goes on to say this event was created to provide the founding fathers, I like that, the original singers and the classic REO lineup a chance to reunite and have a proper goodbye, a chance to honor Gary Richrath and Greg Philbin's memory. Most importantly, proceeds are going to the REO Speedwagon Fund for rare GU cancer research at Moffitt Cancer Center. He goes on to say, the hospital saved my son's life. So, yeah, it's a good cause. How anyone can be deeply disturbed and hurt is beyond me. One thing about Kevin Cronin, and yes, I am going to bring politics into this, right? So the political team that Kevin Cronin likes to root for is always the victim of everything. They're deeply offended. They're deeply hurt. Someone said the truth. Oh, I can't bear to hear this. Turn it off. I need help. All the people that have, what is it called? TDR? What is it? TDS. Those people that have TDS, I may have it too. No, I'm just kidding. They're lining up to go see their psychiatrists because they can't cope right now. And I don't know, maybe Kevin Cronin has a combination of TDS and just his victimhood mentality here. He wanted his own band and he wanted to go out on the road without Bruce Hall. He's reaping what he sowed. I don't understand why this is so difficult for most people to understand, although many do. And people are commenting Cronin has some deep-seated issues. I think it's called narcissism. These are a couple of comments. Kevin doesn't like being reminded that REO didn't begin with him and will end without him. Hurts his obviously fragile ego. Again, those are people making comments, and they're getting a lot of thumbs up and likes and so forth, and I'm not going to go into too much detail with all of that stuff, but it appears that Bruce Hall has a lot of support for this event. He's clarifying, he's setting the record straight because Billboard magazine weighed in on this. Oh, they're so into classic rock these days, Billboard.com. Yeah, that's where I get all my classic rock news. There's so much here. There are 2 or 3 videos that I could probably do, but their headline says, deeply disturbed and hurt. Someone said, deeply disturbed. Yeah, that might be the crux of everything, just deeply disturbed. Look, folks, Bruce Hall still puts out the olive branch when he says, I truly hope he does, meaning that he participates virtually. But like I said, Bruce, buddy, don't go overboard with this because, again, if you want this event, which is supposed to be a cancer research fundraiser for Moffitt Cancer Center, if you want that to be a success, I wouldn't go overboard trying to get old Kevy to show up, even virtually. Okay, I think the damage has been done at this point. I know people who love Kevin Cronin. Those people are going to say he was REO Speedwagon. His voice, which is very different now from what it used to be. You know, if you guys really wanted to be, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? To be very thorough during this event, you might find somebody who sounds a little like Kevin Cronin used to sound like 30 or 40 years ago. And get him involved. Have him show up at the show. In fact, I know somebody, a fairly well-known rock star who told me off the record that he might be interested in helping out with REO Speedwagon. So, if you want to get a hold of me, Patreon, YouTube memberships, buy me a coffee, send me a message that way, folks. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And yes, I am an entrepreneur. I'm trying to survive. Some of you may remember I had this other channel with like 80-something thousand subscribers, and life was pretty good for a little while. But now, you know, kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit. So if you can help me out, that would be much appreciated. As we conclude another exciting edition of As the REO Turns. Again, brought to you by PJ Rock Super Chats, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon. What else? Did I always mess up here and forget to say one thing. Well, you know what it's brought to you by. And, of course, the ongoing saga known as the end of the classic rock era, which has reared its ugly head all over the place. But you know what, folks? It's great for this channel. So keep watching, keep subscribing, and remember, folks, it ain't over until the REO Speedwagon comes to a full stop, which hasn't quite happened yet. I'm Dave. God bless you all, and we'll see you on the next episode of As the REO Turns.